All right. Let's close the eyes and we'll find a nice, naturally comfortable sitting posture. Just become aware of the spine, trying to maintain a good spinal posture, upright and tall. Feel the elongation, gently pull the neck up, tailbone down, head, neck, trunk in alignment. Even though the intention is to maintain a good vertical spine, tall spine, but if that causes any kind of discomfort, make adjustments. Please don't stay in any kind of strain or discomfort. So make adjustments, wiggle around, move around. Allow the hands to rest very nicely on your knees, your thighs, your lap, wherever they are positioned. Lift the shoulders up toward the ears, roll them back, let them hang loose. Very relaxed arms and shoulders. Do a few gentle neck movements just to loosen up the neck muscles, neck joints. You can do up and down, side to side movement. Small circles, full circles, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just do these movements to become aware of the neck and then loosen the neck muscles. Finally, allow the head to rest back in the center now. And the neck should feel nice, comfortable. Soften the facial muscles, relax the jaws. And begin to watch your breath now as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Observe the flow at the tip of the nose for a moment. Try to just follow the flow, no change, no modification to the natural rhythm of your breathing. Become aware of the subtle cooling sensation that you might feel when you inhale. Inhale that subtle warmth of the air when you exhale. Incoming breath might feel dry and cool. Outgoing breath, moist and warm. But these are very subtle sensations we want to just become aware. Recite Om 3 times now. Take a deep inhalation. Softly open the eyes. Namaste and welcome everyone. Welcome to day number 3 of our journey together for 14 days. Journey into self-exploration. Keeping that in our perspective. Exploring our inner universe. Do some gentle eye exercise. So again, vertical movement, horizontal movement. So keep the head in the center, spine upright, tall but relaxed. Look up to the ceiling and then move the eyes smoothly down toward the floor and back up. Up and down movement in the vertical plane, smooth movement. As the eyes reach the top and bottom, give a brief pause, and during the pause, a little extra effort to stretch the eyes. That should help us exercise the muscles of the eyes, exercise the optical nerves, maybe. Smooth movement. Brief pause at the top and bottom edges. And next time you bring the eyes to the center, close the eyes, just relax for a moment, a couple of breaths here. Open the eyes again, look to the far right, and move the eyes to the far left and back. So this is movement in the horizontal plane, side to side, eye level. Again, at the two corners, give a brief pause, and during the pause, a little extra effort to stretch the eyes. And again, next time you bring the eyes back to the center, close the eyes, and we'll rub the palms briskly. Okay. Soft cover over the eyes with the palms. This should help relax the eyes. Gently rub the eyelids, eyebrows, gently massage around the eyes, forehead, sides, cheeks, neck and the throat. Release the hands. And once again, softly open the eyes. Okay. Text message. Oh, yeah. Just respond. All right, let's do some stretching. Come up onto the floors, hands and knees, hands into the shoulders, knees into the hips, spread the fingers wide. As you inhale, Head up and the tailbone up, dip the navel down so you can create a nice little arch in the spine and look up. Exhale, round the spine. This one you lower the chin down, tuck the tailbone in, but lift the navel up toward the ceiling. Just a couple more movements like this. Inhale, dipping the middle part of the spine down, looking up. Exhale, creating a little hump in the spine. Lift the navel up. Finish the next round. Finish the exhalation. Then bring the spine back to the neutral position for a moment. And if you're comfortable, sit up in the Vajrasana. If not, any other cross-leg posture will be fine. Get ready for our practice of Kapalabhati, so the breathing practice. Okay. Share the screen. Keep the speed at 70 for today. Again, if you have any doubts or questions, ask. And if you want me to check you out, if your movement is okay or not, turn your video on, let me know. Send me a text message or just speak up. That's fine that you want me to check you out. Force breath out, belly in. So it should look like this. Lower part of the belly gets hooked in sharply. Breath goes out in a forced, short burst. And final exhalation. Exhale completely. Breathing back to your natural rhythm now. Regular breaths. Okay. So I want to go over some of the sitting postures that are mentioned in our ancient yoga texts. They are called, they usually list them under the category of meditative postures, classical postures. So some of the postures that are mentioned, let's start with the most commonly used posture when most people sit down on the floor. This is called the Sukhasana. So if you're in the Sukhasana, what you do is to cross the ankles in front and place the feet under the opposite thighs. Okay, that's called the Sukh. S-U-K-H-A. Sukh means comfort, easy, something that's easy. I mean, that's the most common posture that most people sit in. Okay, on the floor. And when you sit in this posture, and you will notice that it's always you place the same ankle in front, the other ankle is behind. But just to feel the difference, let's switch the ankles. Still sitting in the Sukhasana, and this, when you do this, it might feel a little bit, strange. It might feel weird because we're not used to this, but that's how it is. All right. Sukhasana, ankles are crossed in front, feet are under the opposite thigh. Alright. And from here, we'll move into what's called the Siddhasana. S-I-D-D-H-A. In this one, you'll place the left heel under the perineum. Left heel, so you'll have to roll back slightly, slide the heel under the perineum area. Okay? And then position the right foot and place it right on the calf area. The four toes are hidden under the knee basically. So you're hiding the four toes under the knee, only the big toe is showing. And what you will notice is that in almost all these postures, your effort is to keep the knees down toward the floor, or touching the floor or just close to the floor. If the knees are too far off the floor, you should be sitting on a cushion then, okay? So your buttocks should be lifted up higher. That way your knees will come down closer to the floor, okay? That's very important. And I'll show you some of the options that we have for cushions. I'll have to bring a cushion next to me. Okay, but that if you have a cushion handy, sit on a cushion if your knees are too far off the floor. So this is called the Siddhasana. Here, I'm hiding my four toes under on my knee, big toe is showing. And a minor variation of the pose, the name changes to Swastikasana, and that minor variation is simply to bring the other big toe also up now. So you pull the other big toe up. So in this case, I'm able to see both my big toes, other toes are hidden. Knees are still on the floor or close to the floor. This is called the Swastikasana. Swastika. Okay. So very minor change in the position from the Siddhasana to Swastikasana. And from here we'll move to the two variations of the lotus pose called the Padmasana. So Padmasana is, first we'll do what's called the half Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, half lotus. So for that, we'll, instead of the heel under the perineum, we'll slide the heel under the foot under the thigh, okay, under the thigh. And the other foot goes on top of the thigh, okay. So one foot under the thigh, opposite thigh, the other foot on top. Again, as much as comfortable, as much as possible, knees should be pressing down on the ground. Alright, this is the half lotus. And now from here, we will shift to the same half lotus on the other side. Switch the feet around. So in this case, in my case, I'm putting my left foot on top of the thigh, right foot under the thigh, and again, knees as close to the floor as you can get them. That's called the half lotus. And from here, we can move to the full lotus now. So again, make sure you don't force yourself. Not everyone is going to be comfortable in these postures because they require some, more flexibility in your knees, your hips, your ankles, etc. So you don't want to cause any kind of discomfort or pain. Just give it a try. If it doesn't work, just stay comfortable wherever you are. So in the full Padmasana, I'll keep the left foot on top, slide the right foot out and place that foot also on top of the opposite thigh. Alright? Again, knees as close to the floor as you can comfortably. If the knees are too far off, always sit on a cushion. That will help you. Alright? So, same thing in this one, switch around now. So bring the opposite feet on top. Okay? And Padmasana, lotus pose, knees close to the floor. Alright? So these are the a few of the cross-legged postures that are mentioned in our texts. Okay, for meditation, for pranayama, anything that we do in a sitting posture, these are recommended. And I've also already mentioned the Vajrasana. So again, let's get into the Vajrasana, where if you notice in the Vajrasana, the buttocks are resting on the heels right now, okay? And knees can be either together or slightly apart, that's fine, it's okay. But the buttocks are resting on the heels now. This one. This is the Vajrasana. Vajra. And again, a small variation of this pose, and the name becomes Virasana, Vira, Virasana, where you slide the heels apart and the buttocks should be resting on the floor now. So heels are apart and then you rest the buttocks on the floor. Alright? So this becomes the Virasana. Okay? So these are some of the, like I said, the meditative postures which are mentioned in our text. What you need to do is to kind of experiment with these postures and see what becomes the most comfortable for your meditation practice. If you if you look at some of the ancient texts in yoga, most of the time they will show yogis sitting in lotus pose, with the eyes closed in meditation. So that happens to be the most commonly mentioned asana, Padmasana, or the lotus pose. But from my experience, what I found is it takes a little bit of an effort to eventually become comfortable in that pose. So you may or may not be very comfortable, but do the best you can. And like I mentioned, it is important to maintain a posture that's comfortable. It's very important because you want to sit in the same pose for the entire length of your meditation. And if you're deciding about 20 to 25 minutes, that's the duration you should be comfortable. And as I mentioned, in my own case, I have developed some kind of a hip issue in the last few weeks, and I cannot sit for too long. I can sit for maybe 10 or 12 minutes. I normally sit in my Sukhasana when I do my meditation. All right, but like I said, because of this hip issue, I have to now sit with the back resting against the wall, and that's a perfectly valid option, resting the back against the wall. And I stretch my legs in front actually when I do the meditation. So I go like this, and this is how I sit and meditate these days. At least until my hip gets better. Now you can use either a block to sit on, that's one option. Okay, you can sit like this on a block. Like I said, once your buttocks are higher, it's much easier to lower the knees down and not cause any strain in your spine or your knees. If that's not comfortable, you can use, I'm going to bring a cushion. Just give me a moment. So these are the two options for a cushion. So one is your standard cushion. You can sit on a cushion. That's one option. And if this is not high enough, you can fold the cushion. If that works, or put an extra cushion under you that lifts the buttocks up even higher slightly. If this also doesn't work for you, use a bolster. This is very, very comfortable. Once you have a bolster handy, this becomes very comfortable then. You can sit on this like this. Alright? So this makes the knees very comfortable and they can be down. Spine becomes very comfortable in this. So the spine can be maintained comfortably upright. Okay, so these are, and if this doesn't work, sit in a chair. Sit in on a bench or something, or a stool, anything that works for you. One of the guidelines is to keep the spine straight, that you will see mentioned everywhere. Spine should be erect, the head, neck and spine should be in alignment. And to do that, if you need to rest your back against the wall, or if you're in a chair, move the buttocks all the way back, rest your back against the back of the chair, etc. So anything that works for you. All right. Any questions on the posture? Anybody have any questions, doubts? All right. Okay, so now we can do our 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara. Come up to a standing position. All right. Let's come up to 2 very simple rounds of Surya Namaskara just to open up, loosen up the body. So bring the feet together, come up close to the top of the mat. Feet should be either together or just slightly apart, parallel. Nice, flat, firm feet, weight of the body evenly distributed across the feet. Shoulders rolled back, comfortable body. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms in front. Then raise the arms up. Pull the hands up and push them back. Look up. Exhale, bending forward. As you do that, keep the arms in front. Pull the hands away. Finally drop the hands. Get the hands close to your toes. Bend the knees. Bring the palms on the floor alongside the feet. Left foot back. Slide it back. Knee down. Buttocks down. Chest up. Look up. And the right foot back as you exhale. Downward facing dog, where the buttocks are lifted up. And you're trying to press the heels down. Lower the chin to the chest and look at your feet or your knees. And now release the knees down, chest and chin down. 8 limbs on the floor, Ashtanga Mudra. Release the abdomen down. Let's lift the head up, chest up. Also lift the palms up, and as well as the knees and legs up. So try to lift the knees higher, chest higher. Put the palms down. We'll go back to the downward facing dog. In Sanskrit, it's called the Adho Mukha Shvanasana. Let's lift the head up. We are going to bring the left foot forward, all the way up. Now, sometimes, this foot may not come all the way up. If it comes up here, that's fine. Place the knee down and use the hand to slide the foot all the way up again. It should come back between the palms. Head up, chest up, buttocks down. And as you exhale, bring the right foot forward. Legs are straight if comfortable. And then try and drop the chest down. Lift the head up. Bring the arms in front against the ears. The body should come up into the shape of letter capital L. And then you start stretching up and back. And then straighten up as you exhale and release the arms down. Relax for a moment. Do one more round of this full sequence. Surya Namaskar, feet together. Exhale, palms together. This time bring the arms to the side and then raise the arms up. Pull the hands up all the way, push them back and look up. And as you exhale, begin to bend forward. Smooth movement always with the breath. Drop the hands. Bring the hands behind the back. Interlock the fingers. Roll the shoulders back. And to deepen the stretch, we are going to pull the hands away when you inhale. Hands away toward the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back. When you exhale, drop the chest to close the gap with the thighs, if comfortable. Never forcing yourself, never pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. And release the hands now. Bend the knees, palms down again, right foot back this time. And then place the knee down, buttocks down, chest up. And then the left foot back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Push the thighs backwards, press the heels down, buttocks up. And then bring the knees to the floor. This time push the buttocks back all the way to the child pose. And start walking your hands in front. So buttocks are on the heels, forehead down to the floor. Walk the hands away so you can get a nice stretch of the spine, the arms, shoulders. Now wherever the hands are, position, keep them there without shifting the hands. Slide the body forward, get into the cobra. Look up, chest up, navel should still be on the floor. Shoulders rolled back. And slowly stretch the elbows straight now, completely straight. Shoulders are still rolled back. Press the thighs down. And then go back to the downward facing dog. Press the heels down, lift the buttocks up. And lift the head up, bring the right foot forward. It should eventually come up between the palms. If it doesn't come, like I mentioned, you can slide the foot with your hand in front. Knee down, buttocks down, chest up. And as you exhale, left foot forward. Legs are straight. You're trying to drop the chest down. Head up, arms out to the side. As you inhale, stretch up and stretch back. Push the arms back behind the ears, look up. And then as you exhale, straighten the body, release the arms, and relax now. Sit down with the eyes closed for a brief moment. Just becoming aware of any sensations that you might still be feeling in the body as a result of our brief Surya Namaskara practice. Okay, and softly open the eyes now. Just want to spend a few moments talking briefly about the sort of the logistics of developing your meditation practice. So, few questions like when you should do it, how long, where, etc., etc. You know, these just general questions about how to establish your ongoing practice. So the first thing we want to understand is what is the best time for meditation. Okay, what time you should be meditating. Any thoughts on that? Anybody have any ideas? What's a good time during the day? What time is a good time? Anyone?
When you won't fall asleep?
Before you want to fall asleep?
Or when you won't, so you won't fall asleep is what I'm thinking.
What do you mean? Explain that.
Like, for me, very first thing in the morning, like right after I wake up, might not be my exact best time because I fall back to sleep.
Mm-hmm. So what is a better time?
A little bit later,
Okay.
maybe, I mean, not even a lot later, but I just need to be awake.
Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts? What's a good time?
Few hours after meal.
Few hours after the meals. Yeah. How many hours?
I think about two,
Two,
two
two,
to three. Yeah.
3 hours. Yeah. That one of the this is an important point that you raised, Prakash. The it's very important that for all yoga practices, and when I say yoga practices, it includes asana, pranayama, and meditation. All practices. That's yoga. Okay. For any of these yoga practices, the stomach should be empty. That's a very, very important guideline. Okay, so when is the stomach empty? Ideally before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. Okay, so that's the time you've had the maximum gap between your previous meal and this moment now, right? So you should have at least 3 hours gap minimum between meals and your yoga practice. So now, in my understanding, for most of us, the evening time, in my understanding, I call it a borrowed time because you're never sure what might come up in your in evening schedule. You might have to take care of your some family issues. Maybe you have kids who have to go somewhere. Maybe you have some social event going on. You have to go for a party. Things like that happen in the evening. So, from my perspective, I always consider morning as the best time. That's the time I meditate. Now, Nancy mentioned that she falls asleep. That's not uncommon. All right. My suggestion is try to do it in the morning. Maybe uh, get, wake up, and when you wake up, don't immediately sit for meditation. Do your morning duties. Wash your face, brush your teeth, give yourself some time. Maybe do a little bit of just 10 minutes of stretching. That's fine. That's my suggestion. Okay, if you just want to do the first thing in the morning as meditation. Many people, like I said, many people follow the same sequence as suggested by Patanjali, where they do the asana practice first, then pranayama, then meditation. And by that time, you'll obviously be fully awake, I hope. Okay, if that's the sequence you want to follow. Personally, the sequence that I follow, I've experimented with different sequences, and the one thing that has now kind of works for me, I do pranayama first, then meditation, then my asana practice. Again, very, very individual. Okay, don't go by just what I say. Experiment and see what what sequence works the best for you. You can split. You can do meditation and pranayama in the morning, do asana at some other time, maybe before lunch or before dinner, whatever works for you. And I'm just giving you an example. But in our ancient texts, what they say is that meditation should be done in the morning. That's the guideline given in the ancient text. In fact, the word they use for that time of the morning, it's called Brahma Muhurta in Sanskrit. Brahma Muhurta. Okay, has anybody heard that term? Brahma Muhurta. What does that represent? No one has heard that term.
Yeah, Subhash, I think is it 2 hours before sunrise or something?
Yeah, something like that. They say, I've read the number as 96 minutes before sunrise. Roughly 2 hours before sunrise. Yeah. Now, the problem with that is, if you try to follow that guideline, there's a big issue because sun rises every single day on a different time, at a different time. So you cannot have that as a fixed guideline. You know, every single day it rises at a different time. So we just have to kind of fix our time in the morning. I mean, if you want to do it in the morning, and pick a time and fix it. All right. So my recommendation is to, if you can, ideally establish your practice in the morning. If you cannot, I mean, if you have other things to do in the morning, if you are on a call with India or Japan or somebody, outside, obviously you have to make changes. Then you can shift your time to either before lunch or before dinner, as I said. But try and maintain the same schedule for meditation every day. I mean, that's the guideline. It helps. Okay. So having picked the time, then place where do you want to meditate? Again, pick a spot in your home where there is some peace and quiet, not too much clutter. Uh, Obviously, you want to avoid distractions like sounds, uh, smells, any kind of distraction, potential distraction. These days, of course, we are always distracted by sounds that are created by our electronic gadgets, right? WhatsApp message or an email message, ping, you had that sound in your phone or your laptop. So ideally, either keep them away from you, these gadgets, or turn their notifications off when you meditate. Otherwise, you'll keep getting distracted. Okay? You don't want to do that. So keep your environment clean, free of distractions, free of clutter. That will be more inducive, more conducive to your meditation. Okay. All right. Now the next question is how long you want to sit for meditation. Let me turn this. I'm going to mute everyone. There is some sound coming. If you need to speak, then only turn your mic on. Okay. Unmute yourself when you need to speak. Otherwise, there's some sound. Some distraction was coming. All right. So now the next question is, what's the duration of your meditation? All right. So, the most common guideline is 20 minutes. If you talk to most teachers, they will tell you 20 minutes is a good guideline for meditation. Okay. And you will do, you can kind of divide that time obviously into two segments. One will be your dharana practice for some time, and then your meditation practice, your dhyana, mantra meditation. So, if you're going to use one of my audio, my guided sequences, most of these guided sequences that I'll be sharing with you, they are roughly 8 to 10 minutes long, right? 8 minutes, some 9 minutes, some smaller duration. So, for example, this guided sequence that we have done in the last couple of days, it's called the Pratyahara. It's roughly 8 to 10 minutes, okay? So you do that and then you follow with your own mantra meditation. So the total duration, roughly 20 minutes. That's the guideline initially. And once you become very comfortable, you can keep increasing it more and more longer. All right. Now, what happens in the beginning, if you are an absolute beginner in yoga or your meditation practice, 20 minutes might seem like like eternity. I remember that when I started meditating many, many years ago, 20 minutes would seem like eternity to me. You know. So start with 10 minutes. It's okay. All right. And build it up slowly. Don't feel as if you're bound. You know, there's no there's no rigid guideline. That's what I want to say. All right. If you don't feel comfortable for 20 minutes, sometimes it's not even possible to sit in one posture for 20 minutes, right? And you may have to move around, and it's okay. Like for example, you sit like this. For example, this is your posture for meditation, and after 10 minutes or after a few minutes, you start feeling a little hip pain or your knee pain or your shoulders don't feel comfortable, you move around. It's okay to move, shift around, maybe even stretch the legs and move around a little bit. But the ideal situation is to stay perfectly still during the entire duration of meditation. That's an important part. And that's why, like I mentioned, for me now, I sit against the wall and I'm very comfortable. I can sit like this for 35, 40 minutes. That's mostly my time for meditation, roughly 35 minutes average, sometimes 40. And I'm very comfortable with that. Uh, Before this hip issue, I was always sitting in Sukhasana for that time. Uh, but you have to find a position that's comfortable for you, and you should be able to maintain perfect stillness during your meditation practice. Having said that, like I said, if you absolutely need to, move around. If you have, if you're very uncomfortable, you can move around, shift around. You know, all these are okay. Go back to your meditation eventually. All right? Does that make sense? Any questions on that?
I have a question. I noticed yesterday, my left leg fell asleep completely. It wasn't, I mean, I wasn't in pain, but then I realized all of a sudden that it was totally
Now,
asleep. Yeah, no. So do you have a recommendation about that, or do you just like let it wake up after you're done?
let it wake up after you're done, and don't get into a situation where it begins to hurt you or causes pain. If
Okay.
that happens, shift around. But
Okay.
not causing pain, if it is just numb, just forget about it. Make a note in your mind, it's numb, it's okay. Go back to your meditation, it's fine.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Becoming aware is the key. What's happening in the body, becoming aware, and then letting go of that, situation. Sometimes minor discomfort, if you just become aware of it and not do anything, it sometimes just goes away by itself. But if it persists, do something. Okay? All right. Any other thoughts or questions? Any other comments about the logistics of meditation? Any other thoughts? Anybody want to share something if people have been meditating for some time? Is that okay? All right. Let's do, if that's okay, then we'll do just a brief pranayama session and do our meditation after that. All right. So let's do one more round of Kapalabhati. We'll do the same thing. 70 breaths per minute. And start when you're ready. Final exhalation. And then just bring your breathing back to your natural rhythm of breathing. So yesterday we talked about this breathing technique called the Ujjayi breath. Okay, so if you remember, the Ujjayi breath is where you constrict the passage at the base of the throat, and then when you breathe in and out, the friction happens here, not in the nostrils. You're breathing through the nose, but that friction will make your sound like a hissing sound. Uh, I don't know if you can hear that sound when I do this. Let me just try it one more time to see if you can hear that sound. If not, let me know. I'm trying to make it loud. Hopefully the microphone can pick it up.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the sound you want to create for all your deep breathing practices. All right? So let's do a few breaths like this where you will breathe in and out, very deep breaths. Three-part breathing. I think I mentioned three-part breathing. When you inhale, start filling the belly out, expand the chest, lift the collarbones up. When you exhale, just the opposite. Soften the chest, upper chest and middle chest, suck the belly in finally. All right, let's do a few of these three-part breaths now. That sound coming from the base of the throat. Okay, finish the next cycle. Finish the next exhalation, then bring your breathing back to your natural rhythm of breathing again. That's just three-part breathing, just called Dirgha Shwasam in Sanskrit. Dirgha means long and deep, deep breathing. Using the Ujjayi technique of breathing. Okay? And don't have too much time today. All right, let's do one more practice called the alternate nostril breathing, where we will breathe in from one nostril, breathe out from the other side. Most of you are familiar with it, I'm assuming. If you're not, let me know. But the gesture we make with the right hand, it's called Vishnu Mudra. So make a fist with the right hand, lift the thumb and the last two fingers up. Okay? So the middle two fingers are bent and they are at the base of the thumb. Okay? That's the Vishnu Mudra. With the left hand, join the index and thumb together and position the hand very comfortably on your knee or your thigh, wherever you're positioned. Okay? Let me take you through one or two rounds together. So you just follow the guideline. So close the right nostril with the right thumb. Exhale from your left nostril. Inhale from the left side now. Close the left with the ring finger. Exhale from your right nostril. Inhale from the right. Close the right again with the thumb. Exhale from your left side. Inhale from the left side. Close the left with the ring finger. Exhale from your right side. Inhale right. Close the right. Exhale left. Continue now. So this pattern is to first exhale from one nostril, inhale from the same nostril. Always inhale from the same side. When you finish the inhalation, always exhale from the opposite side. That's the key guideline. And each one of these breaths is three-part breath. That means when you inhale, fill the belly out first, then expand the chest and lift the upper chest upwards. Okay, that's inhale, exhale. When you exhale from the opposite side, the same thing. You soften the upper chest and the middle chest, and then finally suck the belly in. Create a nice deep cavity in the belly, lower part of the abdominal area. So keep doing this for a few more breaths. Ujjayi breath. Remember, the sound of the breath should come with that subtle hissing sound at the base of the throat. Let's finish the next cycle now. Finish your full round with the final exhalation from the left side. Take your time. Always finish the full round. You're done with the final exhalation from the left side, then release the hands. Regular, natural rhythm of breathing. And if you're ready, stretch the legs out. We'll do our very gentle forward bending stretch just to loosen up a little bit. Feet together, legs are straight. As you inhale, raise the arms up, pull the hands up, and as you exhale, nice and smooth move, bend forward. And as I always mention, if your hands do not reach the toes, it's a good idea to use a strap, which will help you maintain awareness of the spine, also deepen the stretch a little bit better. Okay, so that's what you should try with a strap. So the spine is elongated. We're trying not to round the spine. So pull the chin away from you when you inhale. When you exhale, you can drop the chest as well as the chin down. You can, you may try, not forcing it. And with the next inhalation, raise the arms up again. And then release the arms as you exhale. Okay, we're ready for some relaxation. Yoga Nidra, lie down on your back. And as always, we'll go through our sequence to tighten the body. This is very important because this sequence helps us become more aware of the different limbs and parts of the body, and that awareness helps us relax deeper. Okay, that's why we do this tensing sequence. So come up into the half boat. This is optional. As always, if you're not comfortable, you can keep the feet down, head down. Okay, just go through these movements to tighten the body. So legs are straight, point the toes away. Arms are straight, spread the fingers wide, wide and tight. Make a fist with the hands. Rotate the wrists around. Pick a direction, do a few movements in one direction, then pause, other direction. Pause, keep the elbows straight, fists are tight. We're going to open the mouth, extend the tongue out, curl it down toward the chin. Eyes open. And now try and tense up all the facial and neck muscles. Pull the hands away from you. Squeeze the buttocks tight, thighs, knees and the kneecaps, calf muscles, ankles. Point the toes away. One more time now we're going to engage every single muscle in the body. So become aware of the whole body, engaging every single muscle and bring it to a real tight squeeze. Everything squeeze tighter and let go. Just allow the body to find a very naturally comfortable posture. Shavasana, dead body, corpse pose. Okay, spread your feet apart, almost the width of the mat. Hands a little away from the body. Palms preferably facing up. Head resting very comfortably on the floor, eyes closed. Just mentally on your own, scan the body from toes to head. And if you perceive any kind of tightness, any kind of fatigue, just making that nice deep mind-body connection, sending in a wave of relaxation. So the mind is connecting with the body and loosening up anything that feels tight. Just letting go of the tightness. And as you do that, you can start feeling a subtle heaviness of the body on the floor. So feel that subtle heaviness. Body feels nicely supported by the ground in a state of nice deep relaxation. And for us to enjoy this relaxation for the next few moments, we'll also set the intention to pay no attention to any thoughts that might creep up in the mind. As thoughts come in, they may want to linger around for a moment, seeking attention, but when they find no attention, they will go away. In that way, we can continue to enjoy this very beautiful states of the body and the mind. Just bring the awareness slowly back to the breathing and begin to breathe slightly deeper breaths, just becoming more aware of your rhythm of breathing. Slowly begin to stretch the fingers, curl the toes, stretch the hands, feet, arms and legs. Stretch the arms back overhead. Get a good stretch by pulling the hands back, pointing the toes away, and slowly roll to one side for a brief moment. Slowly come back up to a sitting position now. And again, finding a very naturally comfortable sitting posture. We just briefly talked about some of the options that you have. Whatever works for you. Sitting on a cushion, sitting in a chair. If you need to, rest your back against the wall or against the chair, making sure that the body remains comfortable for the duration of meditation. So close the eyes. Comfortably tall spine. Let's recite Om once now. Deep inhalation. Just maintaining a position that's very, very comfortable. Today, the guided sequence that we will be doing, it's called Soham meditation. The word Soham is a Sanskrit word. It's a combination of two words, Saha plus Aham. When you combine them together, it becomes Soham. Saha means that, Aham means I. So the word Soham means that I am. I am that. And that here refers to our pure consciousness, pure soul. So what we're saying is that I am nothing but the pure consciousness, the pure soul. And I'm only because of my ignorance, I am identified with my body, my breath, my mind, my intellect and all that. So the idea is to recognize our true self, and the phrase Soham tells us what that true self is, true identity is. Okay, Soham. So that's the meditation we'll do today. So start by becoming aware of your breath, focusing at the tip of the nose. Just watching the flow as we always do in the beginning of the class, feeling that subtle cooling sensation when you inhale, warmth when you exhale. For a few moments, start breathing deeper breaths now. So you're bringing full awareness to your breathing cycle. As you inhale, follow the flow of breath from the tip of the nostrils to the lungs, all the way down to the lungs. Feel the lungs filling up. When you inhale, When you exhale, follow the breath from the lungs out through the nostrils and mentally visualize the lungs becoming empty of air. Deep breaths, deep awareness of this entire breathing cycle. Now we'll continue with these deep breaths, but this time we're going to shift the awareness to the spine now, and we're going to add a little mental visualization here. So when you inhale, deep breath, same as before, but when you inhale, mentally visualize as if your pranic vibration, pranic energy is moving up the spine now. So when you inhale, feel that energy, that prana moving up the spine from the very tailbone all the way up to the top of the spine, neck area. When you exhale, visualize the opposite movement from the top of the spine, down the spine, all the way up to the tailbone area. Again, pure mental visualization. Pranic energy, the vital life energy, the vibration of that energy moving up the spine when you inhale, down the spine when you exhale. And as you finish the next deep exhalation, bring your breathing back to your natural rhythm of breathing now. So now you're breathing your regular breaths, no more deep breaths. But the awareness still is maintained on the back of on your back, on your spine. Same movement. As you inhale, feel the vibration of the prana moving up the spine, along the spinal column. And as you exhale, feel that energy moving down the spine. Kind of sliding your awareness up and down the spine as you breathe in, as you breathe out. And this is where now we will introduce the mantra called So Hum. And it's a mental chant. You're going to chant the sound So. When you inhale, at that time the pranic energy is moving up the spine. And when you exhale, mentally recite the sound Hum. So hum. So going up the spine as you inhale, hum, traveling down the spine when you exhale. A regular rhythm of breathing, no change. Mental recitation of so hum. At the very back of your mind, you also know that the meaning of so hum is that I am, and that referring to our pure being, pure consciousness. But maintain that chant of so hum. So as you inhale, spinal column, moving up the spinal column, hum as you exhale. this point now you can transition to your own mantra meditation, or if you're very comfortable and you're enjoying the Soham meditation, you can stay with that. If you want to transition, you can bring your awareness back to your breath again. Just follow the breath at the tip of the nose for a brief moment. Turn your awareness to the third eye location, that spot between the two eyebrows. And imagining that vast expanse of space in front. And maintaining that awareness of the third eye and the space in front. That's when you can transition to your mantra meditation now. Once again, shift your awareness back to your breath now and become aware of the flow at the tip of the nose for a moment. Becoming aware of the body, any physical sensations that you might be feeling in the body. Becoming aware of the surroundings. We join the palms together, do our Shanti mantra, closing mantra. Inhale, and again repeat after me one line at a time. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Om Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please lead me from unreal to the real, darkness to light, from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Excuse me. Peace, peace, peace. So rub the palms briskly. Make a cup over the eyes, soft cover, just relaxing the eyes in the process. Release the hands, join the palms again, raise the arms up. As you exhale, bending forward, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I bow down with deep respect to all my gurus, all my teachers. Slowly come back up. Thank you all very much. Namaste and have a wonderful rest of the day.